Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shake. He decided to re-tee. That's a shake. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you, as always, for joining us wherever, whenever you might be listening and hopefully watching. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Mr. Regz, and I am joined, as always, by the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, how was St. Patrick's Day at the golf course? Saw you had some Irish dancers going. You were
how about it? We had
slinging some Guinness and some Yingling, just having a good time.
we had our first outing of the year out there on Saturday. It was a really good time. We had the Irish dancers came out to kind of kick off the outing. That was cool. One of the young ladies that was there is a high school golfer for one of the local high schools. So that's is her home course. So her dad messaged me and said, "Hey, do you mind if she comes out with a few friends? They're trained Irish dancers." I was like, "Oh my gosh, heck yeah, that'll be so much fun." And about 6-hour round later,
Yeah.
400 sold hot dogs and 3 kegs of beer. We had ourselves an afternoon.
There you go.
Yeah, so it was good. It's a fun tournament to kind of kickstart the season. So we played in 8-sums, just to try it, kind of a pilot program.
Okay.
Biggest thing was to just hold everybody accountable, make sure there's no cheating.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely helped scoring wise. It took about 5.5 hours to play, but it didn't feel that long.
Okay.
Especially because it's kind of neat. You're out there with your buddies in your group, right? But then you get the opportunity to play alongside another team. So it's kind of neat to have the competitiveness back and forth between the two teams, and it was fun. I think, thank goodness, the weather was decent. I think if it was cold and windy, you probably would have noticed that.
It's
5.5 hours. Yeah. A little more.
Yeah.
But I think because the weather was decent, and for the most part, I haven't had anybody complain or haven't heard anything like, "Oh yeah, the group we played with, those guys were jerks."
Yeah, right.
I think everybody enjoyed the playing against somebody else, another team, right there on the same hole each time. So yeah, it was fun. We had a good time with it.
There you go. Now we just need that weather to come back for a little while.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I will always and forever complain about wind. Like, I hate wind.
I'm just more so we finally got that damn basketball hoop up, and it's like the windiest week we've ever seen. And I'm just, you couldn't just give me like a couple of days to again, it's been 4 days since the concrete went in, which is good, but it's like you couldn't give me like just a few days to like let it settle in or anything.
It's awful. It's just awful.
Well, I'm glad that went off without a hitch. So what is the verdict on the 8-sums? Do you think you're going to keep doing it, or?
I liked it. I think we'd have to have, I don't know, maybe a few more marshals out on the course, maybe just to remind groups to keep up. There was a couple times when there was 2 holes or so in between.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people, the right way to play a scramble, I guess, for the most part, is if you kind of have to know if one of your players or teammates hits a a good drive that you know you have no shot.
Yeah, right. You just, yep, here we go.
Like just move it,
Yep.
move it along.
That's right.
You know,
No
there's
use
no
for the guy who
reason.
can't hit it that far.
Yeah, we were coming up one hole and the next hole was coming down the other direction, and maybe it might have been me. I hit mine towards the right side, so we're kind of standing, have our cart parked there. We're standing there. We're watching these guys tee off, and we're probably 50 yards from them,
Mhm.
maybe. And then the last guy comes up, and we're standing there watching, and he goes, "Hey guys, you might want to move."
Yeah.
So, we thought like, "Oh, haha, that's funny," because there's in no way we think this ball is coming
Yeah.
towards us. So we moved, and sure enough, dude striped a line drive about a foot off the ground, right underneath the bottom of our cart, and just made, just a terrible sound. He said, and then he's like, "You know what? Don't even move your cart. I'm just gonna,
Yeah,
we're just gonna
You can
keep
have
moving
that
on."
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's one of
it
those
was-
ones where you just meet your buddy at the next one. You're just like,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to swing. I'm just going to go this way.
But it was fun. I like the 8 subs. I would do that. I would do that again. Probably just like I said, have more marshals out there just monitoring play. And then
Mhm.
if the weather was shitty, it probably would have felt a lot longer. So
Mhm.
thankfully we had nice weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall great experience. And
We got to scramble ourselves coming up in a few months here.
yeah, how about it? The fact that the three of us all can fit that into
I
our
know.
schedules, like that happens like once a year.
Yeah, right. I don't know how it's possible that I don't have something going on that Sunday, but it's amazing.
And are we like officially back in that field? I feel like there's a lot of controversy.
Oh yeah, I got
around
it.
this
I got an
tournament.
email. I got an official registration confirmation email.
Did you? Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of controversy with our team and that tournament in particular. So I'm glad we're
It was one of the funniest things. You and Assy going up to that lady who couldn't do math and like explaining to her how
Listen.
addition works and how
I'm not going to listen. I'm all for being there for charity and fundraising, but damn it, I'm not going to lose because some lady can't add. Like they were ready to hand out
oh
the
man.
first place trophy to another team, and we beat them by like 3 strokes.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
I didn't drive all the way out here.
yeah. It wasn't gonna happen. I just wasn't. So we got that situated. And then we were disinvited for a year or
Yeah,
two
I don't know what happened with that.
in some capacity, just not invited back. So I look at it as we're,
Even though
we're
it's our
trying to-
buddies' family members who are running
Yeah.
it, like it was
Like-
a very weird situation.
like I said, a lot of controversy with our team and that tournament. So I'm going into it as like we're defending champions. That's how we're looking to repeat because I don't know.
Those
what
other ones
happened.
have some asterisks, right? Since we weren't around.
Well, yeah, and we weren't allowed to be around. So
They are a good time though. It is a good time.
yeah, we'll have fun, and I'm curious. I'm anxious to see who the our fourth player is. So I guess we got one snippet of this person
We did.
hitting a golf ball. Looks pretty promising.
Stripes it better than me off the tee, so that'll work.
So yeah, that'll be fun. I did not get an official registration email. So well, I also don't really read my emails, so I'll have to.
Well, you know, you never know though.
I'll have to go. I'll have to go back.
It was way back in February I got it.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Yeah, you weren't reading emails back then.
No, I don't read texts if they're too long. So email's a whole nother animal.
And forget a voicemail. Not even clicking it. Not even
Do
pressing
not.
the button.
Do not leave me a voicemail.
I know that, of course.
Do not.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, you want to talk to Players Championship?
Sure.
It was a good one.
It was good. It was really good.
It listen, admittedly, I watched a lot of it on Thursday, Friday, because it's pretty easy to just have like one of the 3 monitors I'm staring at right now and just have like some feature groups up on one of the side monitors. So I was watching that most of the day, more of the feature group coverage than I was the main broadcast, because it went from Rory's group and Scottie's group to like Homa's group and somebody else. So there was I think they had a feature for almost every single guy, every single group. I'm not sure it all had commentary, but you could at least watch every single shot that somebody was hitting. And then of course, in the weekend came baseball and many other things. But I did catch the last few holes of the last round, which were very exciting, but
very exciting.
Ultimately, Scottie Scheffler shoots a 64, an 864 in the final round to chase down the leaders and win by 1 at 20 under. I think we were talking about this earlier. It's like, I saw some stat that he missed like 8 fairways all tournament, which is ridiculous. And whatever happened with that putter, man, it's like something clicked.
It's the spider.
Yep.
It's all feel. Like you just need a mental change sometimes, and he got it, and he looks great.
Didn't Dustin switch to the spider too? And that like helped him with a lot of stuff.
He did. I'm also having some type of sneezing attack here where
that's all right. I'll keep going while you keep muting and sneezing. It's fine.
The show's yours, buddy.
Yep.
I'm gonna go
pull yourself
15
together.
Times.
I mean,
Dustin Johnson did the same thing. Rory did the same thing. Not that
it's
Rory's
helped him
been on
much,
fire. Yeah, it's not that it's helped him much, but yeah, Scottie, it's just a whole, it's a whole nother level of confidence, I think, right now with the putter.
Yeah.
And damn well that's got to be going to Augusta here in a couple weeks.
It's a bogey-free 64. Just like,
yeah.
And like, this is the thing. We're going to like, yeah, he wins. We get that. He goes back to back. I think he's the first person
ever
to do that, which is wild. I didn't even realize that was a thing.
There's only a couple guys in the history that have 2 Players Championships, and now he by far is the only person to have back-to-back.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where people are struggling to put the ball striking into the proper context. And they're starting to have to, almost by default, because there's no one else to compare him to compare his ball striking numbers to Tiger. And you started to smile because you knew exactly what I was going to say. And it brings into conversation, can you separate talking about something very specific? Like, we're not talking about Tiger's winning. And Scottie even addressed this. Like, someone asked him about his ball striking, and like, we haven't seen numbers like this since Tiger Woods. And he's like, well, guys, I'm not Tiger Woods. He's like, I got 70 plus PGA Tour wins to go. And he's like 14 majors or something like that. Or like, you know, whatever it is, 12 majors or whatever it is.
And the weeks at number one is the best. He's at like however many.
So
and then it's like 863 more.
So
weeks
I don't know
to
if you
go.
heard this, but there was a story that came out that after Scottie hit a driver or something, someone yelled out, "Only 11 years to go, Scottie." And that's how much more time he'd have to be the number one player in the world to catch Tiger.
Yeah. And he was a good sport about it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. He's been handling it perfectly.
And he's a Tiger's number one fan out there. Yeah. So he's a great sport to.
He's been
it.
handling it perfectly. He's like, guys, this is like, I get it that like in a vacuum, like if you're just looking at like data golf stats and like strokes gained and things like that, if you're just looking at the pure numbers, like it's data points. You have to have some point of comparison when you start getting to the level that Scottie is. And I get it on a data sheet saying this is as good as Tiger Woods, like is much easier than saying Scottie Scheffler is playing like Tiger Woods. Like that's just, they're two very different things. But it just, it made me think about, can you, or is it fair to boil down Tiger Woods to this very small snapshot? Like Scottie's been doing it for a few weeks now, this ball striker. Like he's always been the best ball striker in the world when he's playing well. But he hasn't done it for, like you said, 11 years worth of number one golfer in the world. So it just got me thinking about like, do we have, like, is there a certain level that someone has to reach before they should even be allowed to bring Tiger Woods into the conversation? Because again, when you're just looking at data points, you obviously are always looking for, what can I compare this to? And in a snapshot, yes, you could compare. It's like, if that's where his data points are lying, you're obviously going to make that comparison because that's how it works. Like that's how data works. But it's like, we're talking about Tiger Woods over over a, what, 1997 to what, 2010 ish, you know, somewhere around there. So almost a 13-year period of that kind of like dominance and overall numbers.
Yeah.
And even then, even if you're just comparing it to like Tiger Woods in 2001, you know what I mean? Like Tiger Slam Tiger. Even if you're just comparing it to that, like, then you're almost not serving it. Like, yeah, you're comparing it to the best of Tiger Woods. But if Scottie goes on only to win, what is he at? He's at 2 majors now? One. Let's just say Scottie goes on to win 5, you know, in total. It's like, okay, for 3 months, he was striking it as good as Tiger Woods was in 2001. But Tiger Woods held all 4 majors at one time, like by himself. I just don't know if it's ever fair to Tiger Woods to compare him to these guys nowadays, because like you've talked about forever on this podcast, like it's not just the numbers that Tiger was putting up. It's not just the winning. It's the sustained excellence over not just 1 year, but a decade plus that like makes Tiger Woods who he is. And I just don't like, I don't have a good solution, because like at some point the numbers are just the numbers. But I just like, you can't just like take Tiger Woods in 2001 and compare it to Scottie for like 3 weeks.
Right. And Tiger in the majors too. I mean, he has 15 total, but he had 14 in 11 years.
Right.
Like, that's insane. 14 in 11
Yeah.
years, from 97 to the US Open in 2008. Like, that's wild. And I think I kind of think, because we can't help ourselves to compare, but I hope everybody, like you said, it's in a snapshot for a specific week or a specific tournament where, oh, we haven't seen these numbers since Tiger Woods. But it's also comical because you just elaborated on it. Tiger Woods did the same damn thing for almost 15 years. And here you have players that will do it for 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time. I think the comparison's okay as long as players don't overreact to it and be like, yeah, I feel like I'm good enough to be the next Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that would make it ridiculous.
That part would, but you see it sometimes because golfers sometimes get in their own heads. I think if you go back to what's his face, the teaching pro who had the US Open, the hell is that guy's name? Michael Block.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, Michael, great job. And instead of just being humble and appreciative of the opportunity, he says, yeah, if I hit the ball as far as Rory, I'd be a lifelong tour pro or something. And it's like, bro, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Probably not. So that would be like, Scottie, your numbers are compared to, no, we haven't seen ball striking numbers like this since Tiger Woods. And if Scottie said, well, yeah, that's the path I'm taking, I feel like I'm going to be the next Tiger Woods. That part would irritate me. But I think as long as the golfer stays in a sound headspace, take that compliment, enjoy it while it lasts, but don't overdo it.
I wasn't even thinking about the golfers because I think it would be ridiculous for them to be like, yep, I'm on par with Tiger Woods now, and I don't think a lot of these guys have ever done that. Like the real guys,
no, they haven't.
JT and Spieth and Scottie and even Koepka or like guys who are big egomaniacs. Like none of them have ever said, yep, I'm Tiger Woods now. I think
Koepka would be the one to run his mouth. And but you're right. None of the players,
I think I'm more
have done that.
And worried is a strong word. It irks me a little bit that like casual fans of golf, when they just come in like for these weekends and like then they see Scottie Scheffler's ball striking numbers are on par with Tiger Woods in 2001. And then they're just like, oh, Scottie Scheffler's as good as Tiger Woods. And it's just like, whoa. Like, nope, not what we're saying, or not what that's meant to say. There's so much more behind that. But when it starts to be the only thing it can be compared to, like, you just know that like golf broadcasts are going to bring it up. These are the best ball striking numbers that we've ever seen since Tiger Woods in X year, And it's like, okay, Scottie so far has won a Players Championship, but in that same year, you're comparing him to Tiger Woods. He won in a wraparound the Open, the Masters, the PGA, and the US Open. All at the, and held all trophies at the same time. And it's like, that's what we're comparing. Like, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about Tiger Woods ball striking. We're talking about him winning 4 consecutive major championships. And it's just like, it sits weirdly with me that someone could just kind of fly in, see that number, and like fly out and just be like, oh, Scottie Scheffler must be doing as well as Tiger Woods in 2001.
Even to say it, even to utter the words is disrespectful.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. And again, this is no offense to Scottie. Like, he's not the one making these, pulling these comparisons. He's not doing this. This has nothing to do with him or any other player that might be compared to this. It's more so like the golfing world throwing these, and I don't think people are throwing them around because they're obviously comparing very real points of data. But if someone saw that graphic, I can't imagine what it would be running through like a casual golfer's head. You know what I mean? Who like just turned on Sunday for the players and like they're throwing up, no one's hit it better tee to green, than Scottie Scheffler since 2001 Tiger Woods. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. But you're right. It is funny. You don't hear those comparisons like you do. Everybody just knows that Tiger is the standard for the most part. You're right. They'll throw out these stats and every once in a while you'll get, like you say, the casual golfer just sounding dumb. But, we talk about in other sports and I'll use, who would win a one-on-one, LeBron or MJ, or Kobe or MJ, or Kobe or LeBron. Like, you throw out those comparisons, but nobody really comes out and like, you don't hear too much of, who would beat Tiger Woods one-on-one in his prime.
Yeah.
You don't hear that very often. So I think he's still just,
because the answer is no one in this modern era. Yeah. Like, maybe you could go back to Jack or guys like that, but
and who knows? Like, I don't know, man. Just put a 2001 Tiger with
this equipment. Oh my God. Do you think about how hard he'd be swinging?
And his ball, I saw something too. His ball speed is higher than anyone on the current tour now or something. Like, I couldn't imagine with today's equipment what Tiger...
He would have tore his back out years before this. He would have been swinging so damn hard.
Yeah. So
again, this is not on Scottie Scheffler. Like, this is not his problem or his fault or anything like that. Scottie, by all accounts, has handled this perfectly. Like, guys, like, I'm missing 14 majors and like 70 plus PGA Tour wins.
Yeah. Pump the brakes.
Yeah. All right. That was my little tangent with that. But again,
no, that was good.
Scottie's been playing unbelievable. And if this putter thing really kind of sticks, like, he's the favorite in Augusta, like, by a long shot. All right, let's run down the next few names. So tied for second, Harman, Schauffele, Wyndham Clark, all at 19 under. Harman kind of came around in the weekend, 64, 68 over the weekend. Had a putt to tie it, just missed it on the low side.
Same putt, pretty much the same putt that Wyndham Clark had.
Xander, as we've repeatedly talked about, not a closer. Bogeys 2 of the last 5 holes. Pars coming in. Just kind of, limps to the finish line there. And then Wyndham Clark, good Lord, that putt. Oh my God. When they showed the slow motion and this much ball is out of the hole, it's like, I don't understand the physics that allow that ball to come back out.
So it was too much speed?
I mean, it has to be.
Or did it catch the wrong part of the hole? I mean, it didn't look as the ball went into the hole. It didn't look like it had enough speed to ring out the way that it did. It was just that was like something that I've never seen before. That much ball going into the hole and coming
It was 3/4
back
of the
out.
ball.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I don't know if I've seen anything like that in that.
Yeah.
Have
It was
you? I
just
mean, it
no, I
just
can't think of one off the top of my head, but it's like I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my god, he made it." And then I'm like,
yeah,
"No." My wife started yelling at me from the other room cuz I was like screaming. I was like, "There's no way."
yeah,
I couldn't
yeah,
believe it. I don't know. Again, I don't understand the physics that would allow that ball not to be in the bottom of the hole. Like it's almost like a basketball. Like when it does sometimes when it has that kind of spin to it and it'll spin 3 times around the rim, and go
yeah,
halfway in and out and it's just like you never understand why that ball never went in.
right.
And I guess he admitted he's like, "Look, I wasn't leaving it short and I wasn't not giving it a chance." So maybe it had a little too much speed, but it certainly
Got a little
didn't look
extra
like he
juice.
was
Yeah.
blowing back like that
Well,
it
you
was
saw
blowing by
Harmon's
it.
right. You saw Harmon's putt. Like it
Right.
breaks off
Yeah.
hard,
Yep.
and I think Wyndham he played it perfectly.
Yeah.
And had enough to hold its line, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was wild. I mean, I'm happy for Scottie, but
A
man,
playoff
it
between those two would have been pretty
would have been
sick.
a fun. Yeah, it would have been
That
a
would have been
fun.
pretty cool.
Would have
Because you
been a
saw
fun
Scotty on the
playoff.
range practicing the 17 shot.
Yeah, that's where they would have
They
went.
would have I think it's 3 holes, so it would have been 16, 17, 18. They would have had to play again.
Yeah,
That would
so
have been fun.
Harmon, I didn't watch much of him because I'm
Yeah, I mean
I'm still
one
bothered by.
bogey on the front, but when like after the bogey, he went 3 birdies in a row to kind of bring it back, and then only
Yeah,
only 2 birdies on the back.
I'm a Harmon boycott still from the Open.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
fair enough.
I don't condone his style of play.
That's fair enough.
Oh,
All right, so running down the rest of the top 10 here. Matty Fitz in 5th place.
oh, let's talk about him for a second. Did you
Okay.
like these things are so crazy. So, and I'm pretty sure I have this correct. He had a training weight in his driver shaft. And he forgot to take it out.
Okay.
So he's been hitting golf balls and golf shots, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my swing just didn't feel right. Something felt off." And then all of a sudden, I guess he goes to regrip the club and finds this weight in there, and was like, "Oh, oh yeah, I forgot this was in there." And then he, took it out, obviously, regripped the club,
Mm-hmm.
and felt 1,000 times better. And it's just funny. Like, how do you not have you practice with your the driver?
Yeah,
Like
right.
you don't have a spare
Yeah, right. That you put the
that
weight
you would
in, yeah, and
use
then you put
that.
it away.
Yeah. So, that was just a weird little tidbit
Yeah.
and then he ends up going out and having a great week.
Yeah, I mean a top 5, He wasn't playing overly fantastic, I would say, this year, but like a top 5 in this field is really good. Tied for 6, Siwoo Kim shot 64 on Sunday. Jumped him way up there. Hideki tied for 6. He was my pick. Got pretty close. Ludwig, hey, top 10 for a guy who's only in his like second year of this. So,
Yeah.
and then rounding it out, tied for 9th and / tied for 10th, Sahith, and then Matt McNeely, who we haven't seen in a long time. He's been hurt for a long time. But
Yeah, what a weird. Well, I guess Saturday. Like he was. I think he chipped in for eagle,
Yeah, that's right.
chipped in for birdie,
Yep.
and then like shanked a wedge
Yeah.
into the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of some weird,
Yeah.
just very
It was weird.
interesting way to
Again,
close out his
yeah,
round
knocking
on
a little
Saturday.
knocking a little rust off there for sure.
yeah.
And then I don't know if we go down a little more. What are we looking
Spieth
at
missed
here?
the cut.
Spieth missed the cut. Damon tied for 11th. Trying even to like look here.
Rory had
Rory
a
tied
promising
19th.
start.
Yeah, 65 opening
really-
round.
Yeah, some weird drops. He had what 7 or 8 balls in the water that past week.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
that's
I'm just like,
interesting.
I don't know how you could pick him for the Masters at this point. Like, it's just still not sharp. And
No,
I
it's
just
it's
don't
not.
know if he's going to beat these guys who are really playing well.
Yeah,
I mean, Fleetwood, he was your guy, right?
he was my sleeper pick.
He slept all right.
He
Tied
was
for
he was tired.
Yep, he was tired. That's for sure.
How about where's Justin Thomas?
That's what I'm looking for. Colin Morikawa, 45th. Finau, 45. Did I miss him? Victor Hovland, 62. Like, gosh, I don't know what's up with him.
Yeah.
Homa, 64. Ricky, 68. Cantlay, 68. Did I miss JT? Did he make the weekend?
I thought
No,
did.
he missed the cut.
Did he?
71-74. Missed the cut.
Jeez, he sucks.
Isn't that wild?
Hey, he's just padding his stats for the next Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, right. Well, look, all he has to do is hope that Zach Johnson's an assistant captain and he'll be on the team. Jordan Spieth missed the cut.
Oh yeah, Spieth looked.
Justin Rose missed the cut. Oh, our boy Willie missed the cut.
No, Justin Rose, dude, that was sad, man. He was there, and he yoked one in the water.
77 on
17.
Friday. Yep.
Yeah, he took a
shot a 7.
quad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He was right on the cut line, I think.
Yeah,
and then
that's tough.
And then hit it in the water twice.
Our boy Willie missed the cut.
Yeah, stop saying our boy. I don't.
My boy Willie.
Your boy Willie.
I don't know why you have a problem with him.
I don't know either.
It's like Tony Finau. You just don't know why.
Well, I'm over him. I don't even.
You're just
I'm over.
no
Tony
emotion
Finau.
whatsoever.
I had Tony Finau's back for a solid 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Until I decided.
Yeah, Xander's your hate for no reason guy.
Yes. Well, no, it's not for no reason. So Finau, I'm over Finau. I had his back for multiple years because I'm like, dude, this guy, it's coming. Like it's gonna happen. Like he's big, he's athletic, he crushes the ball, and then just shit, nothing. Nothing. So
no,
I'm completely
you've abandoned him. That's it. It's over.
Completely over him.
I like it.
Schauffele is just
the absolute definition of like a coattail rider. Just
can't. He
constantly
just can't handle it.
In top 10s and top 5s, but you're never worried he's going to win.
No, but does anybody talk about that? I don't hear any other than us. We're just so good at this.
That's true. We're very good at this part. Don't ask us to pick winners, but if you want to know the guys who aren't going to win, we're very good at that.
I mean, there's been multiple tournaments now that I wouldn't say had in the bag, but has had the opportunity to win. And he just
no laying up guys have a constant bit about, like, they do this thing called like who's not gonna win, and the idea is to like pick the best player that won't win. And like
Yeah.
they just don't even mention Xander because they're just like, no, he like we don't have to worry about Xander. Like we just know he's not going to win.
He's not going to win. He can't.
Yeah.
And honestly, even his biggest win of his career is probably the Olympics, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
Like even that, he jacked one
Right.
into the trees.
Yeah. Right.
And had to get up and down for par.
Yeah.
So he tried to give that away too.
Not to divert us, but did you see that for the Olympics they are talking about a mixed event?
I did see that.
I think that
I
would
did
be
see
cool.
that. Sure, absolutely.
It worked well. What was it? There was a or we were talking about it with the match, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a tournament where they played on the same course, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And it worked out great.
Yeah. It's a great idea. Why not?
Yeah, I absolutely think that you get pairs representing the countries. It would be great. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All for it. You have the two-way miss stamp of approval, Olympic Committee. We know you're listening, but
do it.
Just in case. We know you're going to give us a call, but like we just figured we'd let you know. Save you the minutes on your phone plan. I don't know if anybody else sticks out to me here. Like the rest of it goes like Taylor Montgomery, Corey Connors, Bezaden Hote, Nate Lashley, Sam Ryder, Seb Straka, Doug Gim. Never heard of that guy.
Yeah. See, this is
Harris
where all of a
English,
sudden,
Shane Lowry, Dylan Wu, Kurt Kitayama, Alex Noren, Adam Schenk. Maybe I've heard of him. Mackenzie Hughes, Chris Kirk, Nick Taylor, Mark Schmid. Schmid. There's no T on the air. Not Schmidt. Schmid. Matt Neesmith, Ben Martin, Mark Hubbard. Like, good Christ, who are these people?
Yeah, exactly. Then you get into, like, you have these this is a nice week. This was a nice week where you had a decent leaderboard, and then you go down the leaderboard.
It was really a decent top 5 or 6.
Or top, yeah. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah, once you got past that, you're like,
we're back to this.
I mean, but just like, thank God it was Scottie and Wyndham and Harmon and Xander, like all names that people know, like two past major winners. You know, Scottie, the number 1 player in the world. Xander, for what it's worth, is a recognizable name in golf. Like, so at least the top 5 or 6 was a recognizable group.
I know. And it's so irritating to me that those other guys aren't in the mix. Like, why did, like, Jordan Spieth missing the cut, Justin Thomas missing the cut, Rory having one good round.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if all those guys could just be in the mix on Sunday, like, like how
it's all right.
Fun would
Tiger played golf with what's his face? So,
well,
the Piff guy. So
it's like, how do you figure this out? We've tried everything but taking it to the golf course.
Yeah, maybe this will work.
Let's figure it out on the golf course.
Apparently, there's the PGA Tour plane took a bunch of the player representatives to wherever for this meeting with Piff. So, we'll see what comes out of that in the next week or so.
We'll see.
But look,
we'll see.
The real thing is we are 1 month away. Or how many days are we away?
Dude, it's less than a month.
It's less than a month. Like, it starts when? The 11th?
April 11th.
Yeah. So 3 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, 3 weeks from tomorrow. We will be hearing those sweet, sweet sounds.
Boy, that's exciting.
For those of you out there, you can now update your Masters app for the 2024 version. It's very exciting. It's always a fun time when I see that pop up on my phone that I can finally update the app for this year. So definitely go get that done. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. And at this point, like, we'll talk about this, but like, your favorite in the clubhouse is Mr. Scottie Scheffler. So just be prepared to hear a lot of that talk as we get closer and closer. But all right, man, that was it. A little recap of the players for everybody out there. I think, look, it's awesome that it's great that Scottie won. It's great that he's fixed the putter thing. I think that, and maybe let's end on this. Justin Thomas was asked, do you think it's better for golf to have one dominant player or, like it is now, a bunch of guys that can probably win? And I'll give you his answer first, and then I'll ask what you think. His answer was, it depends on who that player is, who's the dominant one. Because there's some guys who could be dominant. Maybe you're just not that interested. He's like, look, there's probably never going to be another Tiger Woods, but he was the perfect combination of, like, look, let's be honest, a black guy with a Chinese mother, you know what I mean? And like the best athlete in the world, the best athlete the sport's ever seen. And there were plenty of other things that made Tiger Woods very, very interesting, not just his complete dominance of the sport. But what do you think about that? What's your answer to that question, if you really like stop and think about it?
My answer is JT's answer, 100%. If I could go back or if we could go back and rewatch Tiger dominating again, 100%, I would do it. I don't care about anybody else.
Yeah.
If I could go back and watch him dominate, done. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say that about anybody else. Like, is there anybody else that I would watch?
Well, let's say this. What if for the past let's not even make it decade. Let's say for the past 7 years, Rory has been the closest to Tiger we've ever seen. Sustained excellence, major wins. Like, would that be better for the sport of golf than what we've had? Just any major, it's going to be a different guy. We have no idea who's going to win it because there's such, a disparity week to week of who's playing well.
Well, so that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, if Rory were to do that, what are we talking? Yeah, are we talking double digit majors?
You would assume.
I mean, I guess Rory carries enough style with him that I guess it'd be okay to watch. Massive drives and hitting shots. It's when you have players that hit shots that other players can't hit. Like there's only a couple people in the world that can hit a tee-ball like Rory. So that's like, I'll watch that. And if he can turn that into wins, like, that's cool. But yeah, see, that's tough because that's tough. I don't necessarily want to see one player, if it's not Tiger, I don't necessarily want to see one player dominate, but I wish more of the better players or who we've accustomed to being said are the better players would be in the mix more often.
Yeah.
Like that part
you kind of wish that the lowest
crazy.
they would do is like a top 20.
That part
right? Instead of like, I'm going to win this week and then I'm going to miss the cut next week. And then I'm gonna...
like that drives me nuts. And that just, again, that goes back to Tiger's consistency and his even when he's not winning, he's being dominant statistically because he's making cuts.
Yeah.
Where, what the hell, that Spieth's missing the cut. Thomas is missing the cut. Rory played one good round of golf in those 4 days. Like, I just wish those guys could play better. And especially, this was a $25 million winners. Like, what do you mean you missed the cut?
Yeah.
Like, figure it out. That shit drives me crazy.
I hear you. All right. Well, people
So-
out there, let us know what you think in the
Yeah.
comments, because that'd be an interesting topic to hear some other people's opinions on. But it was just it was an interesting question I saw today that was posed to him.
But for the most part, I agree with Justin Thomas. It depends who's dominating. I would watch Tiger dominate all freaking day.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I could truly wholeheartedly say that about anybody else.
Yeah. It's a good point. All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comments. Good job, buddy. Another great one. It was a fun tournament to watch. It'll makes things very interesting going into 3 weeks from now, for who is going to be, trying to play to the level of Scottie, because as it is right now, there's really nobody else that's playing as well as this guy. But you never know. Some of the live guys will be back, for the Masters and things like that. So it'll be a couple of new guys in there. We'll see how it goes. So next couple of weeks, we'll start previewing the tournament. We'll start doing all our fun Masters stuff. Can't wait. We love this time of the golf calendar, leading into our favorite tournament of the year. So as always, we appreciate everyone for listening. Click the subscribe button on the YouTube channel if you're watching there. It's red. It's free. Help us out. Reach that goal of 100 subscribers by the end of the year. You can find us anywhere you find your podcast: Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you find your podcast. Leave us a rating. Leave us a comment. Helps the podcast get noticed. You can follow us on social media platforms: Instagram at BNB Podcast. You can follow that guy at Instagram at FairbanksC23 or Overlook Golf Course. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Two-Way Miss and me at Big Regz with AZ. We will be back next week for another episode. Maybe some of this PGA Tour PIF stuff will start popping off. You never know. We'll be back to talk the world of golf. We appreciate everyone listening and watching, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.